collaboration. Nigeria's Center for Disease Control and Prevention probes strange illness in Sokoto State. Over insane international court rules Switzerland violated human rights and landmark climate case. And in sport, France, Spain raise security for Champions League ties after threat. Now the details. I'm Sarah Adesanya. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has rejoiced with Nigerians and residents of the state, particularly Muslim faithful, as they celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of a month-long spiritual renewal after fasting, prayers, and other spiritual activities. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his Eid al-Fitr message issued by Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, Berga Akoshile, enjoined Muslims to continue on the path of spirituality, peaceful coexistence, and to remain tolerant of other religions and denominations in the state, saying that Lagos is noted for religious harmony. The governor also assured Lagos residents that their economic challenges they are currently facing will soon be over because of the several intervention programs by the state and federal government. The Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps (LAGESC) has encouraged residents to embrace proper environmental practices and obey the state environmental laws ahead of the Eid al-Fitr festivities, which usually marks the end of the Ramadan fast by Muslim faithful around the world. Corps Marshal of the agency, Olani Cole, made the call at the agency's command headquarters at Bolade Ushudi. Cole admonished Lagosians to make proper use of pedestrian bridges for their safety instead of crossing highways to prevent hit-and-run incidents by speeding motorists. In the same vein, he read the Riot Act to migrants in the habit of converting pedestrian bridges, pleading that anyone caught will be made to face the law. The government has directed that commercial activities in Dosumo Street and its immediate environs in Lagos Island be suspended immediately until further notice as a result of a fire incident which engulfed the area. Reacting to the fire incident, Special Advisor to the Governor in Central Business District, Barade Olumegbon Lawal, will monitor the incident, said the measure became necessary in order to prevent loss of life and maintain peace and order in the area. The fire, which started in the early hours of today, has already brought down 2 buildings. Areas affected include Dosumu, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Moshilishi, Woro Pedro, Obanikoro Street, Agor Tower, Idumagbo Avenue, Idumagbo, Iduolowu, and Oju Olobo Street. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services have successfully contained a significant fire incident involving 14 buildings in Lagos Island. A statement by the Director, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services, Margaret Adesanya, said 2 structures have collapsed and another 2 partially collapsed. According to the statement, the fire originated from the refueling of a generator exhibited by fuel storage in kegs at a penthouse in a printing shop with chemical content. Swift actions by the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services have brought the fire under control, transitioning to a damping down strategy to ensure public safety. Meanwhile, efforts to assess damage and implement preventive measures are ongoing. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Services appreciated the collaboration of all emergency responders on the scene and urged residents to always be cautious when handling combustible materials to prevent unfortunate incidents. Of the stories, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) says it has commenced investigation and response to a strange illness identified in 6 wards in Sokoto State. Its Director General Jide Idris says the agency has deployed a national rapid response team to work with the Sokoto State Ministry of Health to respond to the incident. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, Idris explained that the NCDC was notified by the State Ministry of Health on March 21 of reported cases of children with symptoms which include abdominal distension due to rapid onset of fluid in the abdomen, fever, vomiting and weight loss from Isa local government area of the state. He noted that most of the cases are children aged 4 to 13 years, including some adults from different wards and settlements across the LGA. The World Health Organization, WHO, says the viral hepatitis infections are the second leading infectious cause of death globally, with 1.3 billion deaths annually, the same as tuberculosis, a top infectious killer. WHO stated this in its 2024 Global Hepatitis Report at the World Hepatitis Summit. The three-day summit, which started on Tuesday, is taking place in Lisbon, Portugal, on the theme Integrate, Celebrate, Eliminate. The World Hepatitis Summit is a global meeting to advance the viral hepatitis agenda and provide a platform for a broad hepatitis community to take stock of progress to date and share experiences and best practices in reaching and validating viral hepatitis elimination. An international court in France has ruled that Switzerland's failure to adequately tackle the climate crisis was in violation of human rights and a landmark climate judgment that could have a ripple effect across the globe. The European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg, France, delivered its ruling in a case brought by more than 2,000 Swiss women, the majority of whom are in their 70s, against Switzerland's government. They argued that climate change-fueled heat waves undermined their health and quality of life and put them at risk of dying. The court ruled that Swiss government had violated some of the women's human rights due to critical gaps in international legislation to reduce planet heating emissions, as well as failure to meet past climate targets. And in sport, authorities say police in Paris will increase security at Champions League games this week after media outlets supporting the Islamic State group published threats against the venues. Ministers in both France and Spain have confirmed enhanced security measures. A pro-IS media channel has published several images of stadia hosting quarter-final ties on Tuesday and Wednesday. Meanwhile, UEFA said it was aware of the threat, but said games in Madrid, Paris and London will go ahead as planned. French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said there would be considerably reinforced security measures when PSG play Barcelona in Paris on Wednesday. Just before we go, your vehicle is not a strong room. Please keep your valuables off the view of miscreant. You can follow us on like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that Solo Administration organized a forum for women across the 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. Turn the news, hear the highlight of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has rejoiced with Nigerians and residents of the state, particularly Muslim faithful, as they celebrate this year's Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of a month-long spiritual renewal after fasting, prayers, and other spiritual activities. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has commenced investigation and response to a strange illness identified in 6 wards in Sokoto State. We also told you that an international court in France has ruled that Switzerland's failure to adequately tackle the climate crisis was in violation of human rights and a landmark climate judgment that could have a ripple effect across the globe. And in sport, authorities said police in Paris will increase security at Champions League games this week after media outlets supporting the Islamic State group published threat against the venues. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@traffic961.ng. That is the news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Idu Olaya. I'm Sarah Adesanya. Thank you for listening.